Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notification.
Okay guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to our YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to create a Motec app, which is the Django social network. So this is a full tutorial. We are going to cover everything from the beginning up to the end, right? So I approximate it to take about 2 hours plus because it has a lot of functionality we needed to implement. This is just an introduction video, and I'm going to path you quick on some functionality implemented or which are going to be implemented in this full tutorial. The purpose of this project demonstration is for you to get a bigger picture of what you will create. What you're going to create, a bigger picture of a final product we should expect, right? So here I'm starting with some few functionality. First of all the username and the password are tested. Username must have 4 character long, and the password must have about 80 characters long. So here, let me click register. To register in Motec app, you can click register, or you can click register on nav bar, or you can click register below the sign in form, right? So here I can put a name, maybe Thai. Okay, the email, let me say my email is techie@gmail.com, techie@gmail.com, right? So it is tech@gmail.com. The password is Thai. I wanted to say Thai $sign. So let me click register. You can see username should be at least 4 character long. So here one of functionality implemented is testy. Check the username check the username if it contain at least 4 characters, right? So let me say here, let me say this is Quavo. Quavo is 1 2 3 4 5, and the email is Quavo @gmail.com, right? So it's quavo@gmail.com. Password, let me say 1 2. Let me hit register button. You can see password should at least be 8. It should at least be 8 long character. So what you have seen, these are the first 2 functionality implemented, right? So we have seen that username and the password are checked for validation, right? So the next functionality is user be able to sign up if the if the requirement for username are met. So let me say the username is Quavo, okay, and the email is quavo@gmail.com, quavo@gmail.com, and the password is Quavo 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, Quavo 1 2 3 4 5 6 up to 8. Let me hit register. You can see account was created successfully. So this is another functionality. User can sign up, but not only that, user can sign in by clicking login on nav bar, or can click the sign in underneath of sign up form. So if I click here, you can see I'm prompted to enter the username, which is Quavo, and the password, which is Quavo. It's Quavo 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Then I click login button, right? You can see now I have been redirected to the user dashboard. So far we have seen 4 functionality. Functionality number 1, about 3 functionality. Functionality number 1 is to check to validate the username and the password. The functionality number 2 was to sign up, and the functionality number 3 was to sign in. So the third functionality is user be able to post, right? Like here I can say I feel so good. Okay, I can say I feel so good, and I can choose, right? Let me choose an image here. Okay, let me choose a beautiful image. Let me take this image of me back in the days when I was at university. Let me click Posty. Right, you can see Posty have successful posted, and here you can see this is an image, right? This is an image. Someone can post it, and the posty will display there. I think it should have username, profile. Here I'll put the content written on posty text, so it is an image plus the content of posty displayed above the image. Okay, but not only that, user can post but can also comment. Like I can say this is masterpiece, right? Then I hit post. You can see I have already commented, right? So user can post, user can comment, right? Another functionality implemented, which is going to be implemented, is to update for profile picture, set the status. Okay, so let me update the profile picture. Let me take this as my profile picture. No, let me take this. This is looking amazing. And let me update my status like I am young and rich. Let me say young and rich. Then let me update, right? So you can see my profile is updated and my status is set. You can see young and rich, and my profile is updated. So this is one of functionality to be implemented. Another functionality is if you click on profile, here you can see your post, right? But if you click on feeds, you can see here user Quavo don't have any feeds, because the feeds page is special for displaying friends photos, okay, or the people you follow, right? The people you follow, all of their posts are displayed on feeds, or your friends, right? Like how it is in Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So on the section of feeds, it display all posts of the people you follow. Like in Facebook, in feeds, it display all posts of your friends, right? So that's it. So here, as you can see on the page of feed, nothing is shown because Quavo has not followed any user, right? So Quavo is not a follower of any user in Motec app. I think you understand this. But let me show you another functionality. You can see here, find a friend. You can find a friend here, like I can search all user with character M. I mean all username which contain M. So once I click search, you can see there is admin, there is Moses, there is Mkusu, and there is Motec app. So I can click on Mkusu and I click follow, right? So I can follow Mkusu and I can unfollow. I can follow Mkusu once again. So let me get back here. Okay, let me find the user. There's somebody user called Moses. I can view the profile. Oh, this man is gentleman. In short, this is me, right? So let me follow Moses. Okay, let me click follow Moses, and let me get back here. So as I told you that on the section of profile, it shows all your posty, and a user you can posty and a posty. But on feeds, you can see the post of people you follow. You can see here, this is Moses, and here you can see, hi guys. Here you can see Moses. This is the best tutorial. So on section of feeds, um, it is a section which displays the posts of people you follow. Okay, so here I can also comment on others post, like this is nice. I can say just nice. Okay, and I can click post. Right, you can see your comment has been posted, and here you can see Motec Up commented I like Mo Salah, and Liverpool Quavo commented nice. So that's it. If you see on the sidebar of your dashboard, you can see follower of Moses, Noel D, Motec Up, and Quavo. Moses is following Noel, so that's it. You can follow people, you can unfollow people, you can create a post, right? You can comment, you can update your profile, you can set your status, you can log out. That's the last functionality. So this was just an introduction of Motec app, so as you can get the bigger picture in the back of your mind, and get prepared and get prepared for creating one of masterpiece Django project. I hope this is nice. In the next session, I'll show you the categorization of this project, like what will be covered in part number 1, what will be covered in part number 2, up to what will be covered at the end. But what you should expect at the end of this tutorial is to be able to create one of masterpiece the Django social network called the Motec app. So Motec app is teaching you how to create Motec app. This is really amazing and got me crazy. Thanks. I hope you will get it. You will get the more description of categorization and the different parts to be covered in the next part. So after making a demo in part number 1, so before we start with part number 2, let me give you some requirements needed for you to carry out this project, plus the sub parts of this full tutorial, right? So you need the following requirement. You need Visual Studio Code installed in your computer, but you also need Sublime Text Editor. You need Google Chrome installed in your computer, because we'll be using it as a browser, right? You also need an internet for installing of some packages if you don't have yet, but you need Windows computer of at least 2 RAM GB and 500 HDD. So those are the core requirements, but make sure that Python is installed in your computer, right? Because you can't install Django if you have not installed the Python. So those are the key requirements you need for you to do this project, right? And I hope you qualify. For the case of skills, if you know the Python basics, you are eligible to do this project. If you are beginner, intermediate, or advanced in Django, I can say all level developers in Django and Flask, you can do this requirement, but all level of Pythonist, I mean, if you're a beginner in Python, intermediate or advanced, you are okay to do this project. So those are the software and hardware and soft skills requirement for you to do this project. So after having a demonstration and introduction in part number 1, in the part number 2 we'll create a project and we'll create an app together with making sure that some important configuration are installed. In part number 2, we'll deal with models, right? Models and forms. In part number 3, we'll deal with registering a user in a system, login and log out. In part number 4 of this tutorial, we'll deal on how to display the feeds. I mean the posty of people you follow or the posty of your friends. In part number 5, we'll implement follow functionality, and in part number 5, we'll implement unfollow functionality. In part number 6, we'll create a user dashboard on which user will be redirected after login. So there will be some functionality like posting a posty, creating a posty, comment, update profile, and update status. The last thing to implement is search user functionality, the functionality which allow user to search other user then follow them, right? Because this is the Django social network, so we need to be able to search for other users, and if you want to connect with them is where we'll we'll follow them, okay, which is a functionality will be implemented in part number 5. So this is the bigger picture of each activities breakdown on of this Django social network called the Motec app. In part number 2, we are going to create a project and an app. Okay guys, in this session we are going to learn how to create a project and how to create an app, right? At the end of this session you will be able to create Django application, Django project. You'll be able to set some important configuration in settings.py or the main project, like static file, setting the templates, configuring the database, and adding new installed app. So be careful, right? That's it. So make sure that you have installed the Visual Studio Code, as I told you in the introduction part. I told you that Visual Studio Code is one of our core requirements to carry on this project, right? So before we start learning some commands for creating a Django project, let me show you my my destination project folder, right? So this is my computer, right? So here in local disk F there is a PyCharm, and here there is a Django, right? So this is the path where I store all my Django project. You can take my style, like, yes, if you see it's handful, but I like to keep all Django projects in the same folder, which is present in local disk F, in a project, in a folder PyCharm, then in a subfolder the Django. So inside of this folder the Django, I'll create a project named Motec, okay, Motec app. So as I told you that we are going to use the Visual Studio Code, make sure your Visual Studio Code is on the same path as, the current working directory of your Visual Studio Code should be the folder you want to store your Django project. Here, as you can see, this is local disk F, PyCharm, then the Django, right? And here in my directory, you can see local disk F, PyCharm, then Django. So here is where I can run my command, right? So to create Django project, which is Motec app, you need to run this command, Django admin start project Motec app, right? So after running this command, you'll be able to see new folder created with the name of Motec, right? As here you can see there is a project named Motec. So after running that command, make sure you see the folder named as Motec, right? Then after, the next thing is to change the directory. Change the directory to Motec app, right? Then after, make sure you create an app named core. So to create an app in Django, the command is Django admin start app core. This is command. So after learning this command successful, you should be able to see a folder named as core. If I list the directory here, you can see there is a folder named core. You can see it well here. Okay, if I open up Motec app folder, you can see there is another folder named core. So this is a Django application. So make sure you learn these two commands. Create an app named as Motec app, then create a project named as Motec app, then after create a Django application named as core. After creating an application and after creating a project, the next thing we are going to do is to open up setting.py, right? So let me open up setting.py. Okay, this is Motec. So to get or to open the settings.py, open your Django project, which is Motec app, then open up Motec app folder once again, then open settings.py. I'm using Sublime Text Editor with Visual Studio Code, right? So I open it with Visual Studio. I open it by using Sublime Text Editor. I like to use Sublime Text Editor for teaching because it shows everything clear. Though Visual Studio Code is still remaining one of the best text editor in programming. So here, this is settings.py. Make sure your base directory is os.path.directory name blah blah blah. It should be like this. So here we set the templates, right? This is the base directory. Then another thing to do is make sure you install Crips form, then add in install the app of setting.py, right? Make sure you install Crips form, then add it in install the app. Not only that, the application we created with the name of core, make sure you add it in installed app. So these are the important settings you need to do, right? The next thing, make sure you configure or you set your database to be SQLite 3, but you can also use PostgreSQL or you can use MySQL. It's just the matter of choice. But for learning purpose, I highly recommend you to use SQLite. But later on, when you move to production, make sure you change your database. And I highly recommend you to use MySQL or PostgreSQL. That's it. So this is database configuration. After doing database configuration, the next thing to do is we are going to set the static files path. So here, put this line, okay? This is for media folder, and yes, this is for media. I mean all files which will be uploaded, and make sure in your root project you have created a folder named media. So all images of all Posty which will be uploaded in Motec app will be stored in media. That's it. So after that, as I told you that you need to install Crips form and add it in, install the app on the and add it in settings.py on the section of install the app. Make sure you set the bootstrap to be used by Crisp forms. You can choose bootstrap 4 or you can choose bootstrap 3, but for the case or for the time being, you just choose bootstrap 4, right? So these are the settings I've demonstrated. I've shown you, like set the static files, right? Set the path of templates, set the database, and what else? I told you to install Crisp form and add it in settings.py on the section of install the app. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is here. Let me show you something. Open core, then make sure you have created a folder named templates, and inside the templates make sure you have created another folder named core. Then inside of this core is the path will be installing our HTML template of our project. Okay, so for the static files, make sure you have created a folder named static inside the core application. Then after inside your static file, make sure you have also created another folder named this core. Then these are the static files. Here there is images, right? There is a bootstrap, fonts, and so on. So make sure you have something like this: Motec core, static core, right? Not only that, make sure you have Motec core, templates core. That's it. So that is for the case of for the case of templates and the static files. Let me take you once again in Motec app. No, in core, make sure you have created a file named URLs, right? Something like this. Then these are the something you need to import from Django.urls, import blah blah, from import blah blah, from Django.conf import blah blah. So that's it. Then open up Motec app, then URLs. Okay, so in these URLs, make sure on the first 4 lines of your URLs in Motec app, you have imported this. Then URL pattern, make sure we have this is admin panel, and this is it includes the path, or it includes all URLs present in core application. Then make sure you include this line. Okay, for making sure that all static files, all files in media are linked correctly. That's it. Okay, so here for just let's create a view for just a demo. Okay, let's create a view named index. So def index request return render core index.html, which is this one. Let me show you. So in core, then it templates core, there is this index.html, and as you can see here is high Motec app, high Motec spot, high Motec view, high Motec link. All these are the YouTube channel and Motec, so don't be shocked, right? It's okay. So after creating a Django view, then you need to include the path of this view in URLs. Here, as you can see, path, it should be on the root web, then views.index. This is the name of function, which is this. Okay, then name is equal to index, then Control S to make sure all the changes are saved in your files. Then the next thing is, let me write here, okay, run Django server, okay, run the Django server, run the Django server, and the command is python manage.py run server, okay, hope is okay. Then Control S. Okay, no worry. So here, let me clear the screen, then let me run the Django server. So the command is python manage.py run server. Then I press enter. So once I refresh this page, you can see Hi Motec app, right? Because of this Django view we have created and the path we have set in urls.py. Okay, let me show you something. Let me open up this index. Here I can say, let me put something like this. Here I can say Django. Okay, let me say subscribe, because it feels good to see the people you teach are subscribing to your channel. So subscribe for more videos, right? Then Control S to save the changes. Once I refresh the browser, you can see subscribe for more videos. So this is just the party number. This is just the part number 2 of this video, where we have successfully created a project, created an app, making some important configuration in settings.py, and running our first Django view. So in the next session, we'll cover models and forms, right? We'll create models for our project, and we'll create all important forms we'll use in this project. Okay guys, this is session number 3, where we are going to create a model and a create form. At the end of this section, you'll be able to create a Django model, and you'll be able to create Django forms, right? So the source code for this project will be uploaded to Motec store, which is a GitHub account. So some of source code or some codes offline, I'll not write them from the scratch, right? I'll just give you some hints where necessary. But if you're a beginner, you'll use a template plus my explanation. But if you are intermediate or advanced, I hope you know how to create a Django model and how to create Django forms, right? So let me close this for confusion. So this is Motec app. I open core, which is our application. Then after, I open up models, okay, models.py, and here there are different models to be created. So this is a profile model, a model for storing all user profile, right? You can see here there is a user, and it takes from it take user ID, okay, from model user, and the model user is by default present in django.contrib.auth.models, then user, right? User usually have ID and a username, but for this line we take ID. This is for storing photo and this for the status. So the next model is Posty, which is special for storing all posts being created in Motec app. Another model in Motec app is following. This is a model for storing people who follow others. Another model in Motec app is follower. This stores people and their recipient or their respective follower, right? I hope you'll understand when we'll start creating these functions in views.py. Another model to be created is comment. Okay, so this stores the comments of all posty and all people who comments. So after having these models, we need to make a migration to the database by commands like python manage.py make migrations and python manage.py migrate. So after running this command, we have successfully created the model and I made the migration. So let me go on desktop. Let me take this application. I want to show you one of application. As long as we are using SQLite DB, make sure you download this application DB SQLite browser as your application for verifying if you have the model you have created already are successfully created, but also to make sure you check if the data you create by using different Django views or class-based views in Motec app are saved in database. So here let me open database. Okay, let me open database Motec. Let me open database. This is our database. I open it by using SQLite browser. So let me verify if the created model, if the model we have created, the changes of model created are reflected in our database. So let me click here. You can see here there is a model posty, model profile, model following, follower, comment, right? And this model user is by default created by Django. Okay, so it comes with Django. So these are the models we have successfully created by command we have run. So here let me run our Django server because we are done. So we are done with creating models in Motec app. The next thing to do in Motec app is to create forms. So in your applications, create a file named as forms.py, then open up. Okay, make sure your forms.py contain the following lines. Okay, but before, make sure you import profile, post and comment. Okay, then make sure you have form named user form. This is for registering a user. In short, the process of registering a user is done by Django function based view. It is Django custom function view, but if you want to use Django class view for registering user, make sure you create a Django form. So that's a form for registering a user. If you want to use a form, Django form for registering a user, but in our tutorial on how to create Django social network, we use the normal HTML template form. So this is a form for updating user email. This is a form for updating user profile. this is a form for creating a posty, and this is a form for creating a comment. So these are the forms which are needed in our Django social network, and these are the models which are needed in Motec app, right? So let me open up views.py, and I'm going to uncomment these two lines. Okay, so far so nice. We have successfully created a form, and we have successfully created the Django models. So let me save this. I hope now the project is going to run well. So let me see, nothing. So once I click here, you can see the project is running successfully. So this sum up the end of this session, where we have discovered how to create Django models and how to create Django forms. Okay, so in the next session we are going to cover the register, log in, and log out. So grab a cup of coffee, get stronger, and get prepared for the next session. Okay guys, in the previous session we covered the models and the forms. In this session we are going to cover register, log in, and log out. Here I start by implementing register, user registration. So here underneath of index function, Django function based view, I'm going to create another view. Okay, but this view is for validating the username and the password to make sure that the username should at least be 4-character long, and the password should at least be 8-character long. Okay, so here the name of function is verify input. So def verify input. Okay, so it will be taking two arguments, which is username and a password. So username and password, right? That's it. So here inside the function, I'm creating Python list for storing or for capturing all errors after user submitting a form. If an error will be captured and be stored in error, which is Python list. I hope you know how to deal with Python list. Okay, so that's it. So here I started by checking the conditions. So if the length of username, okay, if the length of username uh, is less than 4, okay, then we need to write an error in our Python list. There is a function, there is a method called append. This method is used to append at the end of Python list. So we want to append to our list, into our Python list, which is error. Okay, so by appending it, we are saving the error to the end of Python list. So error.append, this is for, so here I can say username should be, username should be, should at least be, should at least, should at least be 4-character long. Should at least be 4-character long. Character long. Okay, after checking the username, let me check the password. Okay, so elif this len is Python function for checking the length. Okay, so here it will check the length of username, it will check the length of password, so it will return the length. Okay, as I said that the password should at least be 8 character long. Okay, so we are using error.append. Okay, then I can say password should at least be 8 character long. Okay, so that's it. Then else, okay, print, okay, it's okay. Then we need to return the Python list which has already captured the errors after user submitting a form. So this is just a normal Python based function, okay, which path username and password, and the user's Python list which is called the error. To capture the error, it uses append method to correct the error and insert them in Python list. So this is just normal Python. I think you know it, right? That's it. So after creating a special function in a Python for validating username and password, okay, we are going to create a function for registering user in our Django social network, which is called the Motec app. So here I'm going to create a function, Django function based view for registering a user. So def, the name of this Django function based view is register user. So here I name it register user bracket request. Okay, request, something like that. So if request dot method is equal to Posty, if request dot method is equal to Posty, then start collecting data from Posty form, from HTML template form. So here I can say username is equal to request dot Posty, then a bracket username. Okay, then email, I need to collect email, request Posty bracket, then email. After taking email, I needed to get the password from user. So password is equal to request dot Posty, then a square bracket password. Okay, then after, another thing I needed to do, I needed to hash the password. Okay, so here I can say hash the password is equal to make password, then a bracket, I pass in my password. Okay, so this make password is a Django function based for hashing password, and I imported it here. You can see from django.contrib.auth.hashers import make password. Okay, so that's it. After hashing the password, the next thing we need to do is we need to call the verify input function, which help us to verify if username is 4-character long and if password is at least 8-character long. So here I'm going to call the function, okay, error is equal to verify input, then I put a bracket. I'm starting to insert to put username then a password. Okay, as you can see here, when we created a function, it takes username as the first argument, then it takes password as the second argument. So here you can see verify input, pass username and pass password, then it will return error if any. Okay, and the error will be stored in variable named error. That's it. So after calling a function, what I need to do here is to set a condition. So if I want to check if the returned I want to check out if the function returns error. So if it returns error, then we need to display or to send the error to the user. Okay, but if the verify input function returns nothing, means the user has satisfied username and password requirement, which is 4-character long for username and 8 long character for password. So here I'm going to check. So here I pass in error. Okay, then I say if the length of error is not equal to 0, means there is an error. Okay, so if there is an error, I want that error because it is because the verify input function stores error in Python list. So I'm taking the first index from Python list. Okay, so 0. Then after for more understanding, I would like to print this error. Okay, I print it in the backend. Then after, what I would like to do here is making sure that I send the returned error by using our verify input function. I send it to the user, so as the user may be able to see, right? So if user submitted the username with 2-character long, so it will tell the user that at least the username should be 4-character long. If user submitted the password less than 8-character long, so it will send the message to the user that your password should be at least 8-character long. So that's it. So the way to return or the way to send this error to the user is by using something called return render. Then I put bracket request, okay, request, then the template which will receive the error registration. It is registration form. Let me check the template to return the error. So this is the template. Let me take the name. Okay, .html. Then the error I want to return it to the template. I return it in Python dictionary. Okay, I hope you have covered the concept of Python dictionary. I highly recommend you, if you are not well aware of how Python dictionary works and how Python list works, try out to search for more tutorial so as to get more understanding of Python list and the Python dictionary, because these are the common Python dataset you will face. These are the common Python dataset you will use throughout or in almost every project in the Django, as here as we are using it when developing the Django social network, which is called the Motec app. So I'm going to send the error, okay, to the template by using Python dictionary. So here what I can do, this is Python dictionary. Okay, so error, then I send error to the user. Okay, so if there is an error, we need to inform the user that this is an error causing the incomplete registration of you at our Django social network, which is Motec app. So what else if there is an error? So if there is no error, what we need to do is to take the submitted data from user and save them to our database. So here what I can do here, I can say a is equal to user, then I put a bracket, okay, username is equal to username, username is equal to username, then email is equal to email, right? Then password is equal to hash the password. We need to save the hash the password to the database. Then after, what we can do here, we can use save method of model to save the data. Okay, so a.save, then bracket. So let me show you where is user coming from. You can see here we are using user, but it does not come from nowhere. We imported it from model, right? Let me show you where we imported model user, right? Okay, you can see here from .models import user, following, follower, and post. So we are using user. This is a model. Okay, so here what we have done, we have created and we have just created an instance for saving the data to the model called user. So that's it, and we have used the save function from model to save the data in the Django model. That's right. So after saving the user submitted information in our Django social network, which is Motec app, we need to send the message to the user, okay, that your registration is complete, successful. So success message.success bracket request, then account was created successful. Account was created. Account was created successful. That's right. Then we need to return redirect user. Return redirect user to register. This is we return the user, or we redirect a user to the same page he was making registration, so as he can or she can get the response from the server if the registration is complete or if the registration is incomplete, right? So that's it. So user, we expect user to get the result on the same page he is or she is making the registration. What if the registration is not complete? What if let me take you here on the first line of our the Django social network the view for registering a user. We set a condition that if request.method is equal to Posty. What else if the request.method is not equal to Posty? So here let me specify else. So here I can say else. Okay, return random. Return random. I can return random. Then I put bracket. Okay. Request. Then single quote call registration form.html. Registration form.html. Okay, that's it. So let me Control S to make sure the changes are saved. Okay, then let me open up urls.py. Let me go here in core. Then I open up urls. Okay, so what I can do here is I can put path, then register. Okay, something like that. Then views. Okay, I hope it should be something like this. Then a views dot register user, comma, then the name is register. Put comma, then Control S to save the changes. So let me show you the registration form template before we go to the browser. So once you come here, so this is registration form. As I told you earlier in the introduction of this tutorial, I told you that I'll not write everything from the scratch, right? Some templates are already created for the sake of time and for making the session not boring. Okay, so these HTML templates are already created, but masterpiece explanation to what is happening in this template will be given. Okay, so let me open up registration underscore form. You can see here extends single quote core base.html. So we extend, right? If you have ever coded in Python, in PHP, you know how to include one file in another file. But this is a bit different. This is inheriting, right? Means HTML template is like a child. So this is a base. A base template is like a parent template. Okay, so let me open up this, then you'll get a clear picture of what I mean. So this load static, it helps us to load all static files in HTML template. So you know the function of this. It helps us to load all static files in HTML template. So let me go here. You can see here there is a space which is block body. Okay, it open and it close and broke. As I told you that base in the Django is like a parent template, right? So we are once you create a parent template, we usually make sure that we reserve a space for a child template, right? So a child, this is the space for a child, okay? Child template will sit here. You got me? I hope this is clear. So there is a parent template and a child template, but a parent must reserve a space for a child. So since HTML, since the registration underscore form is a child template, so you can see here there is a block body, okay? So here it extends from a parent, then a block body is this block body specified here, then everything will be inserted here. So this is the base, okay? The content of registration form will sit or will be pressed between here when registration underscore form extends from base, okay? So that's it. So the next thing to give explanation of you is I hope you know how you can load static files in the Django. So it should be something like this, okay? Static equal bootstrap.min.css. I hope these are the small things you should be knowing, but if you don't know though, so this is how you can link static files like CSS in the Django. And this is the Django social network on how to create a Motec app, okay? So this is registration underscore form. So this is it is help us to prevent against CSLF attack cross site request forgery, okay? Okay, if you have not something, you can see here name is equal to username, email name email, password name is password, and they matches with this. You can see here username email password, username email password. So make sure everything you receive here is the same as was corrected from your HTML form. That's it. So this, as you can see, this is HTML form, though it has a method of Posty, as we checked here. If request.method.posty, then it start collecting the username, start collecting the email and the password, okay? So another thing you may get you'd like to know, here you can see action is not specified because this register user, it handles everything. It handles the user registration, okay? From here up to here handles user registration form, but here it is special for rendering the HTML template. So let me Ctrl S to save the changes, then let me go to the browser. So here what you can write is register to see what is happening, okay? Wow, this is masterpiece. As you can see, this is our registration page we have successfully created. So let's try out to register, okay? So let me put first of all, let's try to see if the verify input function will verify the user name and the password, okay? So I'll start by putting one character as username, okay? Then I'll put an email and a password, okay? So let me try out to hit the register. You can see username should at least be 4 characters long. So how does this message reach to the user? I told you about the concept of Python dictionary. So this is here is where we pass the error to the HTML template by using Python dictionary. And how do we make it visible to the user? Let me show you here. After passing error to the HTML page, right? Then here, as you can see, if error means if error is returned by this, if error is returned by view, then display error. So this is the section where we display an error which was passed to the HTML page by using Python dictionary. I hope now you know. I hope now you know what's happening, right? You know what is happening. You know how you can path an error from the backend, which is Django view, to the front end, which is HTML template. That's a masterpiece. So let me Ctrl S to make sure the changes are saved, right? So as we have seen that the verify input function is able to check if the username is 4-character long. So let me put another name, like I can say let me put the name as Django. Okay, email, let me put an email. Email is not verified, is not validated. So let me try to see if the password is validated. So let me put 2 wrong character password, then let me hit the register. You can see password should at least be 80 character wrong. So I hope we have implemented the validation of user input. Okay, so let's try out to check if the registration can be done. So here let me say let me try to register a new user, which I can say this is Chris Brown, you know, and then that's email. Let me say the email is Seabreeze, something like this. Then the password is Brown. Okay, let me 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Let me register. You can see account was created successful. So we have covered how to validate the user input, and we have covered the registration of the user. So the next functionality to be implemented in this section is user login. Yes, after creating user registration form and allowing user to register, so it's time to create a Django function based view for registering a user, right? So underneath of register user function, I'm going to create another Django function for registering user in our social network, which is Motec app. So here I'm going to create a function named as index, right, which passes request as argument. Then if request dot method, if request dot method is equal to Posty, start collecting information from user, which is username and password. So username is equal to request.posty, right? Then a square bracket username, then a password is equal to request.posty, then a square bracket single quote password. So far we have collected the username and a password from the user or from user submitted form. So user is equal to authenticate then a bracket iPath request, right? Then a username is equal to username, and password is equal to password. Okay. Then after, if user is not none, okay, and user dot is underscore active, auth dot login bracket login bracket, then a request comma user, right? So this is request, then a comma user. So if the submitted username and password are correct, user should log in, nothing else. So here I would like to redirect the user to the dashboard. So return redirect bracket dashboard, right? Dashboard. That's okay. So what else if the credential submitted by user are wrong? So if they are wrong, then I should do something like this. Okay, messages dot info bracket request, then single quote invalid username or password. So this is invalid username or password, any of two, right? Then return redirect bracket index. So if the submitted username and password are wrong, user should be given a message that invalid username or password, right? But what if the request dot method is not equal to Posty? We should do something like this. Okay, return render return, it should be render return render. Okay, then a bracket request, it should be called index.html. Let me Control S to save this. Okay, so this index is already present in URLs. You can see this is index, but here you can see I use the dashboard, but the dashboard is not present here. Dashboard. So let me create here. Let me create simple Django. Let me create a simple Django view. Here I can say something like this, like a dashboard. This is dashboard. Then a bracket request, then a return render bracket request, then call, okay, / then dashboard.html. I Control S to make sure the changes of views.py are saved. Then what I can do here is I can say the path. I can do something like this, dashboards. Okay, then views dot dashboard comma name is equal to dashboard. Okay, I hope that is okay. So let me give some few description. You can see this authenticate auth login, this log or login, this should be login. Control S to save the changes. This something like messages. What is the messages? Okay, let me show you. Let me show you here. This is auth. Okay, and what is authenticate? I'm trying to see. This is auth, but there must be authenticate. Yes, you can see this is authenticate and this is login. This is the messages. So make sure what you use in your Django views is imported, like authenticate is imported, login is imported, and the messages is imported, or they are all imported. So that's it. Let me go here on my browser to see what is happening. So this is my browser. Let me refresh it. Okay, seems there is an error. I can see here password. Okay, password is equal to password. Control S to save the changes. Then let me get back on the browser to refresh it. See what's happening. Or path. What's happening here? You can see this is path. Control S to save the changes. Then refresh the browser. Let me click on sign in. Okay, let me open up registration underscore form. Here there is a sign in, so let me put the URL for signing in. So something like this, URL, then index. Control S to save the changes. Right, then let me refresh it. What happened if I click sign in? Wow, you can see I'm redirected to the sign in page. What if I click login, register? So let me update the base2.html. So here what I can do is I can say, oh, this is base2. So on the section of login here, can do one hack like URL, single quote, then index. I come here on register, single quote, URL, then register. Okay, register. I Control S to make sure the changes are saved. Then I go back on the browser to refresh. If I click sign up, I'm redirected to the sign up page. If I click login, I'm redirected to the login page. So let me try out to log in. I remember the Rusty user was Chris Brown. I remember it was Brown. And the password was 123456789. Let me hit the login button. Wow, you can see you are welcome. So I'm redirected. Okay, let me try one thing here. Let me try to supply the long username and password to see. You can see invalid username and password. So far in part number 3 of our tutorial on how to develop Motec app, the Django social network, we have covered the validation of username and password, the login, okay, and the sign up. So the last thing to implement or to be covered in part number 3 of this tutorial is logout functionality. So after dealing with login and the register, it's a time to deal with logout, okay? But before we carry on, I made some changes on dashboard.html and I added one HTML template here. I added base3.html and in dashboard.html I made a template inheritance of HTML template in the Django. Just to remind you that this is the Django social network on how to create a Motec app, which is social network. So here in views, here in URLs, I'm going to create something. I'm going to create logout view. Okay, so here the path is logout, okay, then views dot it is not views, it is author views dot logout view dot as view. Okay, then a bracket. I needed to specify the template name. Okay, so template name is equal to core logout.html. Okay, then the name is logout. The name is logout. Okay, I hope it should be something like this. Okay, then the template for logging out is already here. Let me take it. Okay, this is template. As I told you that the templates are already prepared. So this is logout.html. That's okay. And when I open it, you can see it inherits base2.html. That's pretty. So let me refresh here the page. Okay, once I click logout, you can see nothing works. So let me edit the base3.html, which is being used by dashboard.html, and on logout here. Okay, I'm going to specify the URL for logging out. So URL is logout. I Ctrl S to save the changes. then everything should be okay. So let me get back on the browser. Let me try to refresh. What's happened if I click log out? You can see you have been logged out. Click here to log in. Now I can log in. I can log in, I can register, and I can log out. And this sum up the end of section 3 in the Django social network on how to create a social network called the Motec app. Okay, so in the part number 4 of this tutorial, we are going to learn how to display the feeds. I mean, how to display the posts of people you follow, how to display the posts of your friends, and that's the meaning of feeds. So grab a cup of coffee to warm up and to fuel your body and your mind, and get prepared for creating the Django views for displaying feeds. Okay guys, this is part number 4 of our tutorial on how to create the Django social network, which is Motec app. In this section, we're gonna cover the feeds, right? I mean, you want to display the posts of people you follow, okay? You want to display the posts of your friends, and that's the meaning of feeds. Feeds means that it's just a web page which display other pages you are following, the posts of people you follow, the posts of your friends, and that's it. So we are going to implement it. At the end of this section, you'll be able to create a post by using Django shell. You'll be able to create follower user and a following user, but also you'll be able to display all feeds on a web page, right? That's it. So keep in touch and pay more attention. So here I'm going to create a Django function based named as feed. Okay, so underneath of dashboard function, I'm going to create another Django view named as feed. I put a bracket, then a request. Okay, request, then a single quote, no, double dot. Okay, then I will try to use it, try except it to catch some error. So try, I want to select all posts. Okay, so here I say posty underscore all is equal to posty.objects. It is posty.objects dot all bracket, then order by created at, then order by is order by, then bracket single quote created at. Okay, so this is created at underscore at, something like this. Okay, let me show you the model posty. You can see here posty, there is a column called the created at. So we want to order all posty by the date of creation, I mean by the created date, right? So that is okay. So let me print all post in the back end. So here I'll write post print, then I want to print all post in the back end. Okay, so after selecting the post, I'll try out to catch some error. So except what should be done if there is an error. So except exception as e double dot. Okay, so print print an error, but this will execute without terminating. A great purpose of using try except is to make sure the program run at the end. I mean, an error cannot lead to the termination of program. I highly recommend you using try and except so as you can have your program running very smoothly without terminating, no matter you got some errors. Okay, so the next thing is I want to get the comment form. Okay, so is equal to comment form, something like is create comment. Yes, this is the form for creating comment. Yes, something like that. Hope it's okay. Then the next thing is to get the username. So username, okay, username is equal to request.user.username. So request.user.username. Want to get the username, who is submitting the request. Okay, so in the back end, if you want to get the username of user sending a request in the Django, the code line is request.user.username, right? Hope we are together and no one is lagging behind. If you lag behind, please comment below so as I can give more explanation. So username is equal to request.user.username. So the context, I want to put everything in Python dictionary. That's why I highly recommend you to make sure that you have mastered everything about Python dictionary. Okay, this is one of most popular used data structure in Python. So here context is equal to, then I put Python dictionary post all. Okay, post all, double quote, post all, then a comma. Also I want to send the comment box on the user page. So also I'll put the comment box in a Python dictionary, then render it with HTML template. So here I can say this is comment form, then a comma, then username, okay, is username, comma, something like that. Our Python dictionary is complete. So when we are rendering HTML page to the user, we make sure that we render our post, we render the comment form, and we render the name, the username. I mean, we render the name of user who is sending the request. As I've told you that if you want to get the name of user sending the request in the Django, use request.user.username. That's clear. Okay, so the next thing, I'm going to render the HTML page. Okay, I'm going to render the HTML page plus our Python dictionary, which contain all the data, which are username, comment box, and the username. So here I'm going to render the HTML. So return render, then a bracket request, then a call / feed.html. The feed.html is already created. As I told you in the beginning that most of templates are already created. What we are going to cover is we are going to learn the back end, okay, and some few explanation of front end, but specifically we are basing on the Django, okay, how we can create multi-cap the Django social network. So here context, okay, here context, Okay, so let me Control S to save the changes. After creating a function, which is the Django function-based view, make sure you put the path in urls.py. Okay, here I can do something like this. You can see feeds. This is our Python Django function-based view. Okay, so let me Control S to save the changes. And let me show you this HTML template. Okay, so this is a template. Let me open it up. You can see this is a template. And here you can see, okay, here you can see if posts. Okay, so if the returned page is returned with all Posty, if Posty, then for Posty, for posts in Posty, so we want to loop over the Posty. Okay, the next thing, for x in user.following underscore set.all. I hope this might be one of new function, one of the new concept to you. Okay, but never mind, I'll make everything easy. So for x, this is another loop. For x in user dot following underscore set. So let me give you the meaning of what does it mean when you say following. Like here, let me give you first the meaning of following underscore set dot all. So when you are using following underscore set dot all, means that you go to the model of following set, go to the model following, return everything. Okay, return everything, return everything from model following. So this will go in a model called the following, and as we know that we have the model called the following, so it will select everything from this model. Okay, so it will come up with all the information from the following model. I hope that's clear. So when we say for x dot user, by the way, you know, in for post in Posty, the last column of Posty contain the user ID. Okay, let me open, let me show you. So you can see here, these are the columns of model Posty. There is created at Posty, picture, and the user ID. Okay, so we want to, as I told you that feeds, let me write here first, feeds, these are all Posty of people you follow. All Posty, all posts of people you follow. Of people you follow. But how do you know that this is Moses and the how do you know that I'm Moses? Okay, so how do you know that this is Moses and Moses is following Noel, Moses is following Motek? Okay, so how do you select all posts of uh, all people Moses follow? Let me just write here. So it's like we are making stories. Okay, so as I've told you that feeds is all posts of people you follow. I'm Moses. Okay, I'm Moses. I'm Moses. Okay, the current user, the current user, and the people I follow. Here I can say the people Moses follow, the people Moses follow is, let me say, Noel. Okay, another one, let me say Salah. Okay, Salah was my ex-girlfriend, so let me say Noel, Sarah, and let me say James. Okay, So here I hope you'll understand it, or you'll get a bigger picture of how you need to be technical when dealing with feeds. Okay, so as I've told you that feeds is equal to all posts of people you follow. Let's assume that the current logged in user is Moses. That's me. Okay, and the people Moses follow is Sarah, Noel, and James. So on the section of feeds, we want to select only Posty of Noel, Sarah, and James. But how do you achieve to select all Posty of only Noel, Sarah, James, keeping in mind that there are other users in the system? So a good way is to select all Posty. Okay, so you select all Posty. As you can see here, for Posty in 4 posts in Posty all. So you select all Posty and make sure that you filter only Posty of people Moses the current user is following, and that's why you can see this about 4 code of lines. So if Posty, this is for checking if Posty are returned by Django function, which is feed. Then if Posty are returned for posts in Posty all, we loop over all Posty. Okay, after looping on all Posty, we want to associate the people who posted those posty and the people who follow those who posted those posts. I'm not so sure if you get my concept. Okay, so means here you can see this is Posty. Okay, and here there is user ID. So we want to move from, we have navigated in model Posty, but you want to move from Posty model to the following model by using this column user ID, because this column is related to the following Posty. To the following, you can see here there is user ID, but also in Posty there is user ID. So this code of line is for x in user dot following set. So we are from here in Posty, but we move from Posty and select the model named following, and that's the meaning of following underscore set dot all. So we use the user ID from Posty to get everything from following model. Then if posty.user.username is equal to x dot following set, display only those posty. Okay, so select all posty of user, then filter only the posty of Noel, Sarah, and James. So we select all posty, then we try to see who is the current user logged in. Okay, let's say it's Moses. So we want to select all posty. We want to filter only posty of the people Moses follow them, and this is the meaning. So here, as you can see, if post.user.username is equal to x.following.user, then it display those posty. So the concept is very easy. Select all posty. After selecting all posty, navigate from the model posty to the following model. Then compare the username of people who have posted and the username of people following the current logged in user. I hope that's clear. I think I'm talking too much, so let me delete this. Okay, I hope you have understood the concept about feeds. So this HTML template display all of posty of people, okay, all of posty of people you follow. It display the comment box, it display the text of posty, it display the name of people who has posted, it display the post text, the content of posty, it display the image of text, it display the created date of the post. I hope that is enough. So let me Ctrl S to save the changes. Then let me go to the base.html. So here on the section of feeds, I would like to put something like this. So that's feeds. Okay. Let me try out to log in. Let me run the server and try out to log in to see if I can see anything on the section of feeds. Okay. So I'm here. Let me log out. Okay. So let me log in as Moses. So my name is Moises in Spanish. Okay, so my name is Moses, and the password is root dmoses1234. Then I hit login button to log in. So let me click on the section of feeds. You can see nothing else. Nothing. I can't see anything. Why? There are two reasons why the feeds section is empty. First of all, maybe I have yet followed any user in a system, okay, but I might have already followed the user. The first reason to do not see posts in feeds page is the first reason is possible I have not followed any user, okay. The second reason, if I have followed the other users, possible the people I'm following them, they are yet to post, okay. But if you see in our model, you can see there is no post, okay. There is no follower, there is no people who follow other, and there is no people who are followed yet. So how do we be able to how are we able to demonstrate this concept? So we are going to use Django Python shell. We are going to create we are going to make sure Moses is following Noel, okay, and we are going to make sure that Noel is creating a post so as for the page of feed to have a content. So we are going to implement follow functionality on the Django shell before we implement it on a Django view. So we are going to make sure Moses follow Noel, and then Noel create a post so as when Moses log in, Moses should be able to see the posts on the section of feeds. I hope you understand it, though I think maybe the concept is a bit difficult, but I hope you'll understand it. So let's go here. So we are going to use the Django shell. So Python manage.py shell. Okay, here I have already the command, okay. So here, as you can read, creating a follower and a following via Django shell. The first command is Python manage shell. After that, make sure you import model user, okay. So let me import model user. So I have successfully imported the model user, okay. And why we have imported the model user? We have imported the model user so as we can be able to implement the follow functionality. And because this user are from model named user. Okay. So the next thing, import model follower. So let me import from core.models import follower. So I copy this command, then I run it. So I have imported the model follower, and I'm going to import model following. So I copy this, then I paste it, and I press enter. Then after, the next thing I'm going to do here is so let me give more explanation of what we are going to achieve. So Moses following Noel. So we want to implement Moses follow Noel functionality on the Django shell. Okay, so Moses is a follower, and Noel is someone who is followed. Okay, Moses is a disciple, and Noel is a reader. Okay, that's it. So let me copy this. So follower is equal to follower. So we want to instantiate the model follower in object named follower. Okay, so that's it. So leader is equal to user.object.get username is equal to Noel. Okay, Noel is present in our database. You can see here there is Noel, and here is Moses. Okay, so as we have said that Moses follow Noel means Moses is a disciple and Noel is a leader. Okay, that's a simple concept. We follow to the lead. So Moses is a disciple and Noel is a leader. So we just write it here in the Django. So leader is Moses. So leader is equal to user.object.get username is equal to Moses. Okay, so let me print leader. You can see leader is Moses, but if I print the type, you can see it is class django.contribute.author.model. Okay, it is very different if you specify like this. Maybe if you could say leader is equal to Moses. This let me show you something here. Okay, you know I want to show you something. You can see once I print leader, you can see is Moses, but here I can do something. I can say reader 2 is equal to Noel. Okay, once I print reader 2, you can see reader 2 is equal to Noel. Okay, and once I print leader is equal to Noel, but these are not the same. Okay, one is of type Django model, and another is of a type Python class string. So let me print their type here. You can see the class is django.contribute.auth, models.user, but if I print reader2, you can see the class is a string, because you might be asking in the back of your mind, why are we writing user.objects.get username is equal to Noel instead of writing reader is equal to single quotes Noel? So these are the two different things. This is of a classy Django model, and this is of classy string. Okay, so we have specified the reader. Let's specify the disciple. Okay, that's okay. And once I try out to print disciple, you may see Moses. But if I want to print the type, to know which data type is disciple, you can see the class is the Django contrib.auth.models.user. That's okay. So here we have created reader and a disciple. Okay, so the next thing, following is equal to following. So we are instantiating the model, the class model following into the object named following. Okay, so that's it. The next thing is leader.follower underscore set.create follower is equal to disciple. Okay, so we are going into the model follower, and we are saying that Moses is following Noel. That's the meaning of this line. Leader.follower underscore set.create. So the follower underscore set create is the great function is to create data for the related model, right? So it is going to create someone named as Moses and put the ID of Moses in the model. So let me copy this. You can see here follower is equal to Moses, leader.follower underscore set.create. So follower underscore set.create help us to get the ID of Moses. Okay, so let me show you the follower model. You can see Moses ID is equal to 3. So follower underscore set.create, it help us to get the related ID of user Moses. Okay, so disciple.following underscore set create following. So here we have created a follower, and here we are going to create a people who follow the other. Okay, this is amazing. You can see following Noel. So this following is a model which registers all people who are followed and the people they follow, I mean their ID. So let me refresh the model and open up the following model. You can see Noel is followed by user ID 2. But once we go to user ID 2, here you can see user with ID 2 is Moses. So that is the function of these two model. This model follower stores all the people who follow others. Like Moses follow user with ID 3 who is Moses. Okay, and the following store all the people who are followed. Like Noel is being followed by user with ID 2 who is Moses. I hope that's clear. We have implemented the follow functionality in the Django shell. This is still the Django social network where we are learning how to create a Motec app, which is the Django social network. So once I come back, okay, if I come back on the, let me not assume, let me exit this, okay. And let me run server. As I told you that if you are on the section of feeds and you don't see any posty, there are only two reasons. The first reason is possible you have not followed any person. But the reason number two is possible if you have followed, I mean if you are a follower, if you have a follower of some people, or if you have followed some other people, we assume those people have yet created a post. So here is a time to test our assumption. So now Moses is following Noel. So we expect on the page of feeds we see the posts of Noel. Okay. So let me refresh the page. So on the section of feeds, I still don't see any posty, though Moses is following Noel. So here one reason has remained, means that Noel has yet created any posty. Okay. As I've told you, if you don't see a posty, means you have not followed any people, but if you have followed other people, means they are yet to create a posty. So let's get back on the Django shell and create a posty for user Noel. Okay, so as to be sure of what we are doing. So Python manage shell. Okay, so let me import the model user, which is from django.contrib.auth.models import user. So I paste this, press enter. I have already created, I've already imported the model user. So the next thing is to import the model posty. Okay, so from core.models import posty. Core is our Django application in Motec app. Okay, so I press enter. Then after I can say a is equal to posty, then a bracket. Let me open up the posty. Let me open up the posty model. So in the posty model, you can see there is a posty text and a posty and the user ID. So posty text, let me posty text is equal to hi Motec. Okay, and the user ID, since the current logged in user is Moses and the Moses is following Noel, let's find the ID of user Noel. So in user, the ID of user Noel is 3. So here I can say the posty, the user ID is 3. Okay, then a.save. This is the Django model method for saving objects in model. So I press enter. So here I have created a posty, but I can add another posty. Let me come here in images. Let me take this. Let me copy this. Okay, in core. Let me see. Okay, let me open up here images. So let me exit. Create the terminal, run the Django Multicap server. So let me get back on the browser. Can you guess what is happening? Once I refresh this URL, you will see Posty of user Noel, because Moses is following Noel and Noel has already created one Posty. Boom. Wow, this is amazing. You can see this is the name of people who has created a Posty, and this is a text. You can see hi Motech. And this is comment box, which was rendered by Python dictionary. Okay, I hope this is clear for you. We have already implemented the feeds functionality in Motec app, which is the Django social network. And actually this is sum up the end of this section. Okay, this section number 4. In the next session we are going to implement the follow functionality. So just grab another cup of coffee just to fuel up your body and your mind and increase the degree of your focus in this project. This is one of my masterpiece tutorial on the YouTube, and I'm trying out to give the best of me so as you can enjoy a lot of concepts simplified in Django. Okay guys, after implementing the feed in the last session, now we're going to implement follow functionality, which is part number 5 in creating Motec app, which is the Django social network. Okay, so here I'm going to create Django function based view. Okay, follow web, then a bracket, request, and the username. Okay, the username someone needed to follow. So if request dot user dot username is not equal to username. Okay, so the meaning of this line, if you can't follow yourself, that's the meaning of this line. If request.user is not equal, then you go ahead. But if Moses is equal to Moses, it is impossible, you can't follow yourself. Okay, but if request.user.username is null and username is Moses, now you can go ahead with if request.method if request.method is equal to Posty, go ahead. I think you remember the concept of disciple. Okay, the concept of disciple and a leader. So where we created the user in the, okay, let me copy these two lines. This was on the last session where we implemented the feed functionality. So let me paste them here. Okay, so here I can say the leader. Okay, the leader, and this is the disciple. So that was implementation of follow functionality in the on the Django shell. So here a leader should be equal to username is equal to username. Okay. So this function will take the username of someone to be followed. Okay. So the leader is equal to username, and okay, so disciple is equal to username is equal to request.user.username, request.user.username means if you want to follow someone, it means the one you follow is a reader, and you following him or her, you are a disciple. And the disciple is the person who submitted the request. That's why we are saying that username is equal to request.user.username, referring to the current user performing a request. Okay. Then leader is equal to object.getUser.username. Then leader is equal to follower. Okay. Leader is equal to follower underscore set dot create bracket follower user. Follower user is equal to disciple. Okay. Then disciple dot following underscore set dot create bracket following user is equal to leader. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm writing, because we implemented this on backend where we implemented feed functionality. So leader dot follower underscore set dot create bracket following user is equal to disciple, and the disciple dot following underscore set dot create bracket following user is equal to leader. So URL is equal to reverse. URL is equal to reverse. Okay, bracket profile then quarks username keywords argument, then return redirect bracket URL. That's it. So this is follow functionality in Motec app, which is the Django social network. So In the next session, we are going to implement unfollow functionality. Okay guys, we are going to implement the unfollow functionality. Okay, in the previous session we covered the follow functionality, which was the part number 6 in this tutorial. So this is part number, the previous was part number 5, so this is part number 6. Actually, the unfollow functionality is very similar with follow functionality, so I'm not going to write everything from the scratch, but if you understand how the follow functionality works, so this is unfollow functionality. The only difference is here you can see create, here get. We get it and delete it, get it and delete it. So this is the follow functionality and the unfollow functionality are the same, with the except of this line, and here there is a get, while here there is delete and delete. So this is how the unfollow functionality to be implemented. Okay, so the next thing after creating a view is to put it in URLs. Okay, path, then after bracket follow web, /, then username. Okay, then after views dot follow web, name is equal to follow web. So the next thing to put in URLs is unfollow. Okay, so unfollow web, let me copy the follow URL. Okay, so here is unfollow, then here is unfollow. Control S to make sure the changes are saved. So actually this is the end of part number 6 of creating Motec app, which is the Django social network. So in the next session we are going to cover the Posty, how to create a Posty, how to create a comment, and how to update the profile. Hey guys, this is part number 7 of development of Django social network, which is Motec app. So in the last session we covered the unfollow functionality. So in this session we are going to cover the posty comment functionality. So here I'm going to create a function. Okay, request, then username. Okay, if request dot method is equal to posty. Okay, posty form is equal to create posty. This is a form. Okay, bracket, then request dot posty comma request dot files. Okay, the next thing is if we want to check if the collected post content and the image are clean. So if post form dot is valid, so we want to check if the form has been submitted without error. Means if the form is valid, then do the following. Post text is equal to post form dot clean the data, then post text. Let me copy this. Here it is not post text but post picture. Then post picture. After that, request.user dot post form request.user dot post underscore set dot create, then post text is equal to post text, and the post picture is equal to post picture. Messages dot success bracket request post was created successful, was created. Okay, then after if that's okay, then URL is equal to reverse profile quarks keyword argument username is equal to username, then you return redirect URL. So this is the Django function based view for posting for creating a post. So after this, we are going to create a Django function view for creating a comment. Okay, after implementing the post comment, after implementing the creating of a post, now is the time to implement the creation of a post. So here I'm going to create a Django function based view, which is comment web bracket, then inside I pass request username and post ID. So it's request username and a post ID and a post ID posty underscore ID. Okay, Then the next thing, if request.method is equal to posty, if request dot method, excuse me, is equal to posty, single quote posty, then do the following. Okay, the next thing is comment form is equal to create comment. Okay, then a bracket, I loaded the form for creating a comment. So but inside of a form I needed to receive a request submitted by user. So inside of a creating form here I can say request.posty. Okay, then after comment, if comment form is valid, we need to clean the comment submitted by user, then save it in the model. So if comment form dot is valid bracket, then start collecting the comment. So I can say comment text, receive the comment text. So comment text is equal to comment form dot cleaned data, comment form dot cleaned data, then comment form dot cleaned data square bracket comment text square bracket comment text. Okay, something like that. So if the form is valid, which means if the form is submitted without any error, we need to take the comment submitted by user. So here user is equal to user dot objects dot get bracket username is equal to username. Then after post is equal to user dot post set get user dot post set dot get. Okay, pk is equal to post id. So bracket pk is equal to post id. Then post dot comment underscore set create. So post dot comment underscore set create. User is equal to user is equal to request dot user okay, comma comment text is equal to comment text. So that's it. So post dot comment dot set create user is equal to request dot user comment text is equal to comment text. After that I need to send the message to the user. So let me copy this. Okay, to simplify the work, and then paste it here. I can say comment was created successful. So the comment was created successful. Then let me copy this, then paste it here. Okay, so let me put it here, then Control S. So this is the Django function based view for creating a post. We are done with creating a post, creating a comment, and the next thing we are going to do here is to make sure we allow user to update the profile, okay, which is the last functionality in this session, okay, which is the last party in the session of user dashboard. Okay guys, it's been a long tutorial, so some of Django views I have written them, so here I'm gonna give you some few explanation of what does it mean. So this is let me start with this profile. This is Django function based view for user to see his or her profile. So if the request.posty, if the request.method is equal to posty, means user wants to update the profile, okay. So here the data will be collected by using a form. They will be checked if they are valid, and they will be saved. After being saved, the user will be redirected to his or her profile. So I can say in short, this is the section for updating user profile by using two Django form, which is update profile form and update user form, right? So this is if else means user do not want to update the profile, okay. So user just wants to load it, okay. So user will be user do not want to update, but he or she is given the form ready for him or her to update. So the user update form is ready and the user update profile is ready, but also the creative post form is ready. So if user do not want to update the profile, okay, if user is not updating his or her profile, means user should be able to create a post, but should be able to update his or her profile, okay. I'll say if user name is equal to request.user.username. So if you have logged in as, let's say I'm Moses, so if Moses is equal to Moses, means I'll be just given a form, right, to create a post and to update my profile. But if username is equal to Noel, I've logged in, but the username is equal to Noel, I'll be able to see the follow and unfollow button, okay. As you can see here, already a follower. If already a follower, you will be shown with the button to unfollow, but if you have not yet followed the user, you will be given a button to unfollow. So this is all about it. If user is submitting a form, then we expect it to update his or her profile. If user is not updating his or her profile, we expect user can create a comment or can update. So we give this form. But if the username is of another user, we display the follow and unfollow button. So that's it. Everything is rendered in Python dictionary, okay. So the create comment form is also given to the user to be able to create a comment. So this welcome view is just it takes profile view, right, then redirect user to a specific profile. So if the username is Moses, this Django view help to show the profile of Moses. So that's it. Another Django function based view is this one. This is for searching user. As I told you that this is just the Django social network called the Motec. So we should be able to allow user to search for other users and be able to follow or unfollow. So this will go to search. So let's say here user submit a request like search all user with let's say you search Moses. Okay, let's say it's submitted equal by user. So our function will go to the column username to check if Moses is contained in the column username of model user. It will go to the column of first name, it will go to the column of last name, then it will change the result, then render it by using template and by using Python dictionary. So this is all about, okay. And in my URLs py, it is looking like this. Let me open it up. So URLs, okay, you can see there is search, welcome, comment, web, post, web, profile, and unfollow. So that's it. Okay, let's try out to fix some few issues arising here and some forgotten parts. Okay, so one of the thing I want to change is on register user. So this is the Django view for registering a user. So at the first time we ended here. So after saving the user registering in your system, we came here sending the message to the user. But one of important functionality we need to do is let's make sure that when user is registering, we by default create a profile for the user, right? So here let me explain how to create a profile for the user during the step of registration. So user is equal to user.object.get username. So we want to get the username of user registering. Okay, so this help us to get the username, okay, from the Django model. Then user ID, we want to get the user ID of the current user making registration. So user.object.value list, we select the ID, then flat true.filter username. So we select ID by using username. So username is equal to user. So we get the user ID. Then after we create a profile for the user by using ID. So profile.objects.create user ID is equal to user ID. Then message.success account was created. So in the process of creating in the process of user registration, we need to make sure that we at the same time create a profile for the user by default, okay. And one of the thing we didn't do is for these users who were first being registered, they are being registered without being created a profile for them. So let me do one thing here. Let me delete the profile for this user. First of all, let me log out. Okay, let me log out. I want to show you something. Let me log out. Okay, so after that, let me delete profile for this user. Let me delete this. Okay, let me Control S to save the changes. Okay, then after, let me open here in user. Let me delete all users. Okay, then I'll create them by registering. So let me save. Okay, seems there is some error. So let me delete the follower and the follower. and the following. Okay, Control S, follower, following. Let me come in Posty, delete all of Posty. Let me save. Okay, so Posty, profile, nothing, following, nothing, follower, nothing. Let me wind up with comment. Okay, let me delete, save. Now you can see I can save. So let me start making registration from the beginning. Click here to log in. No, I want to sign up. So let me sign up as Moses. Okay, then my email is moses@gmail.com. The password is rootdmoses1234. Okay, then I hit register button to register. That's okay. Account was created successful. So the difference from now, between now and the previous time, in so far, once a user is being registered, he is being created a profile by default. So let me come up in model user. You can see here, this is user Moses. And when I open up profile, you can see this is this is a profile for user ID Moses. Okay, so when I log in, okay, so let me try out to log in. Okay, Moses, and my password is bra 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 bra. I can't tell you my password. Okay, let me put in my password. 1234. Then I click log in. Okay, that's okay. So once I click on feeds, I don't see anything. As usual, as I told you that for someone to see feeds must have followed someone, and the people he or she follows must have created a posty. So let me click on a profile. Now with the different, you can see this is default profile, and here you can see Moses is follow of Moses bra dash. Moses is following dash, but here you can see this is my email. I can update my email and I can update my status. Like here I can say I'm young and rich. Okay, I can say I'm young and rich. So once I click, you can see your profile has been updated. So on my status, you can see I'm young and rich. But also I can update my email. Okay, I can update my email. I can say my email is mosesnoel02@gmail.com. Then I hit update. Okay, you can see my email is updated. Not only that, I can create a post like this is the best tutorial. Then I can browse an image. Okay, I can take this image, then I can post it. You can see. Okay, now it's the time to make some changes on profile. Let me open this profile. We are still making some changes to make sure it is looking beautiful. So I want to do something. Okay, feeds. Let me open feed. I want to take something. I want this post.txt. Let me copy this. After username, we need to see the text of the content of posty. Okay, so here username, and underneath of username, we need to, let me paste this here. Control S to save the changes. Then refresh the browser. This is the best tutorial, so it should be underneath of profile. Okay, so let me copy, let me cut it, then boom, let me put it here. Control S to save the changes. Then let me refresh the browser. You can see this is basic tutorial. I can comment. Okay, I can say Gooch life. Once I click Posty, I can create a comment. You can see comment was created successful. So this is a comment. I can add some more Posty like hello guys. Hello guys. Browse an image. Let me take this. Then I can hit Posty button. You can see this is a Posty. Okay. So that's it. So the key functionality we had forgot is to make sure that when user is being registered, his or her profile should be created automatically. Okay, so that's it. You got me? So let me get back here. Here, as you can see, we have used the profile model. Make sure you import it like I imported it here. So this is the profile for that change. Okay, the next thing, make sure your URLs is .py is looking the same as mine, and your views are the same as my view. Okay, register user. This is for index. Now I can change here. This I want to put welcome. Okay, Control S to save the changes. Okay, let me log out. Let me try out to log in. Let me say Moses. And the username and the password is. So let me hit the login button. You can see now I'm redirected here on my Posty. So if I click on profile, I remain the same. If I click on feeds, I don't see anybody. Okay, so let me log out and register two new user. The first user is Noel. Okay, and the password, let me register no user. So this is Noel. Email, and the password is lot demoses 1234. Then I hit register button to register. Then let me sign in. You can say Noel. Okay, that's my password. Then I hit login button. So now you can see I have logged in. So let me try out to create a posty. Okay, let me take any posty. Like let me take this picture. Oh, let me change the picture. I want to find the amazing picture of me when I was young and rich. So let me click here submit to submit the posty. Now you can see here is Mohamed Salah. This is my posty. I don't follow anyone, okay, but here I can search for user. I can search for M. You can see there is a user called Moses. I can view his profile. Oh, this is Moses. Oh, my friend. I can follow Moses. Oh, request is not defined. So the followable, let's fix this. Followable request is not defined. Okay. Followable disciple username dot request. Okay, let me see here. Let me see. The follow web. I think there is something wrong. Request. This is follow web. Let me copy this and I come here on the follow web. Let me just paste it here to compare what is not okay. request.user.username. I think everything is okay. Followable. Maybe let me delete this. Control S to save the changes. Then let me try out to refresh. Oops, there might be something error. So let me Control Z to make sure we inspect the changes. Leader.follower.set disciple, not username, request.user.username, request.method is equal to Posty. This is okay. Disciple, request. Oh, you can see something was wrong. This should be request. It should be something like this. So I hope this was an error. Okay, but it's okay. We know what was wrong. Okay, let me Control S to save the changes. Now you can see I have followed Moses. So on my feed I should see all posts of Moses, but also I can comment on Moses photo. I can say nice picture, nice pic. You can see comment here. You can see Noel is. I can update my profile picture. Let me choose a beautiful profile picture. Like I can come here and set this as my profile picture. When I was young, I was a bit handsome. So let me update here. Now you can see how the profile picture is looking nice. So actually this is an end of how to create more tech app, which is the Django social network. Okay, but let me show you something here. In a base, there something was added, like here this is welcome, this is welcome, this is feed. Okay, this is for base 3, and for base 2, let me show you. This is index, this is register, this is index. So I hope this is an end of today's tutorial. Thanks a lot. I hope you have enjoyed a lot. I hope now you know how to create more tech app. Okay, congrats a lot, because I've covered a lot of important concept in Django web development. If you find out this video helpful, please hit the like button. And if you see this video is amazing, try out to share it to your fellow student, to your fellow developer, or to your colleague. But for getting the masterpiece update of a video like this, make sure you hit the bell and subscribe for the channel. Okay, which project do you plan to do after creating a Django social network? Which video would you like for me to upload in the next time? Please, I would like it to see the comment. Which video do you like in the next time? Put comment below. Okay, but call to action. As long as I've given you some knowledge on how you can create the Django social network, which is more tech app, you can study this tutorial from the beginning at the end, then come up with your own masterpiece, the Django social network. Okay, so learn from my video, then create your own masterpiece. And I would like to recommend you that if you will create your own Django social network, make sure you implement one-to-one private messaging. Okay, so you should let me tell you what I would like to recommend for you. If you will create your own Django social network, make sure when I view someone's profile, like here, let me once I view someone profile, let me search for other user. Okay, I'm Noel. Let me search Moses. Okay, let me view the profile. So here there is an unfollow. So if you create your own Django social network, make sure you implement the message functionality. Okay, assume here there will be a message button. So once someone click on that message button, he or should be able to chat with another user, and it should be real time. Okay, so that is my call to action. Create your own Django social network from the scratch and make sure you implement real time messaging functionality in your Django social network. Thanks. I'm talking too much. Thanks, and see you in the next tutorials. Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notification.